Hello world, I'm Eire with Saturn's Edge, and you're watching more Persona 3 Reload. We're back again with another episode here, 51, second episode of the batch. And, I mean, here you go. Here's 51, what more can I say? Last episode, we got through more of Tartarus, we cleared another monad door, and really that's about it. That's really all we did. We didn't really do much except for really discuss, like, what's happening, I guess, more so with me lately. We also kinda got into, like, some specifics here of, like, kinda my thought process on what it would be like for my first video of 2025, and, like, some, like, little bits and pieces. I also did mention something that I will be talking about in just a second here. I did mention that I'd talk more about my experience playing games with friends, and why I place such like a heavy importance on that specifically, really. Really, just enjoying any time with friends you have is great, you know? If you're a kid, you're at school most of the time, your friends are right there, you know? And that goes from elementary, that goes from, you know, elementary to junior high to whatever, right? Any schools in between, and then high school. Sometimes college, because, you know, college, you're with people. But after high school, you know, you don't exactly split up, but that possibility is still there, you know? I place a heavy emphasis on, you know, on sticking with the people that you care about in a way that, like, kinda matters, even the small stuff. I moved away from my friends, and I was the only one that didn't end up going to... I think I was one of the only ones that didn't end up going in any schooling, I should say, any further education other than high school. So, when it came time, really, a lot of the things that everyone was up to is they were busy with class or with work, and I was busy with work too. Really trying to make some ends meet, you know, for the time being. Also, is that a new persona that we just got? Did I pick that one up? I might have. Did I? I did. That is Take Mikazuchi. Wow, terrible timing. I'm literally in the middle of a story. Take Mikazuchi in this game actually looks different than how he appears in a later game. What's really interesting is that he appears exactly like the appearance you just saw in Persona 3, but in Persona 4 he is a persona that belongs to a party member. However, we're going to talk about him a bit. First off, he's from Japanese mythology. Man, I just stumbled so bad there. But he's also known as Kashima no Kami, a Shinto god of thunder that was born from the blood on the sword of Izanagi when he slew the newborn fire god, Kagutsuji. Wait, Yeah, Kagutsuji. That's how it's... Yeah, okay, so I got that right. I actually feel pretty good about that. My pronunciations are getting better, and I didn't even plan for this. I don't know, it's a little bit of hope. And I think that's the first time an enemy has ever absorbed one of our attacks. Nice. Still killed it, but... Anyway, yeah. So, continuing on with Take Mikazuchi, ooh, man. Whoa, sorry, my brain is blanking here. When the Amatsukami decided to increase their influence on the Earth, they asked that Take Mikazuchi, along with his brother, Futsunushi, descend from the high plane of heaven in order to pacify the deities of Izumo. The last of these, Okuninushi, there we go, was compelled to surrender, but his son, Take Minakata, would hear nothing of it. That's where you see Take Minakata. We found him earlier, so now we're starting to, like, get pieces of the puzzle together here. Twirling a boulder on his fingertips to frighten his foe, Take Minakata challenged Take Mikazuchi to a test of strength. They had the first sumo match, in which Take Mikazuchi won by crushing the arms of Minakata like a young reed. Casting them aside, Take Minakata fled to Lake Suwa, where he married the Suwa goddess, Yasaka Tome, and became the guardian god. So, like, there's a ton of, like, little pieces in Japanese mythology that kind of, like, place together, right? There's little characters and bits and pieces that all line up to eventually create more bits and pieces. It's really cool. Izanagi has a connection to Take Mikazuchi, who has a connection to Take Minakata, and it keeps going down the line. And it's such a really cool and interesting thing that gets played off in the actual mythology that I should really look more into it, because it's just that, I don't know, it's just that unique. You don't... you do see it in mythology, but you don't see that in a lot of, like, I guess modern, like, interpretations of the story, is that the backstory doesn't line up with a lot of things. I don't know how I'm describing this, it may sound like completely incomprehensible garbage, but I'm trying to make a point here that, like, little steps and pieces like that are how you create an ever-expanding mythology, and that's something we can't do anymore. It's something we haven't actually done in, like, a long time, to have all these bits and pieces line up so perfectly that they all coincide with each other's stories. That's what I'm trying to get at. Now, I can finally get to the actual story I was trying to tell, which is my story. Oh, man. But, first off, there's that. You know, it's after school, like, a lot of us kind of... We didn't go our separate ways, we were still in contact, you know? Obviously, like, we lived in the same town, basically, you know? So we could, like, see each other and talk to each other whenever. But being busy, you know, it places some, like, restrictions on you, like, oh, I can't go out, I have, like, a test or, like, work tomorrow or whatever, right? There's that, and then there was also COVID, which, you know, as you know, is, like, oh, it's the bane of all existence, it stopped everything, it's gone, we can't do it anymore, you know? There was a lot of that, so a lot of what we did was over Discord, where we just chat with each other, like over Discord calls and stuff. And we were already used to playing games in person, but Discord was the first time that I ever felt, like, really good about playing games online with other people. Especially, you know, if I knew them, because at the time, like, I just wasn't as I wasn't used to that. I grew up like a couch co-op person rather than online co-op person. Mainly due to a lot of limitations. But it was a really, like, interesting experience to me, and to this day, we still play games, you know, online together, over Discord calls, we just have fun with it. You can obviously tell because of the Payday 2 video, the Left 4 Dead 2 videos, you know? Stuff like that, and you can tell that. And then we have ones that are different, like the Silent Hill 2 and the Resident Evil, where, like, I'm the one playing it, they're along watching, which is different than what we normally do for, like, a multiplayer game, is where everyone hops on and just plays the game all at the same time. Root, that's another good example. The Root game was a really good example of it. Point is, there's a lot there, right, that we've done, and it's carried through time. But what I do want to talk about is, I guess, my experience with couch co-op and the importance of just spending time with your friends and just playing a good game with them, you know? Just something really fun, just something enjoyable. What me and my friends did, it was me, David, and one other guy, who is, I mean, obviously one of my best friends. I'm not naming him because, one, I never asked permission to use his name in a video, he's never shown up in a video, but also I want to keep, like, him private just for now, in the event that he never wanted his name out in the first place. Point is, me, David, and our other best friends, we kind of assembled this, like, small trio, basically, for quite a while, where what we would do is, ever since we were, like, teenagers, like, really young teenagers, like, I'm talking, like, I was 12, they were, like, 13 or something, we were all playing, like, you know, Pathfinder and Dungeons & Dragons together at, like, you know, the table, right? And we were also playing, you know, video games at each other's houses, because at the time, you know, just, we weren't on Discord yet, there was no need for that. So we'd, like, literally go over to each other's houses and play games together, you know? I was going over to David's, I was playing Garden Warfare 2, I was playing, you know, I was, like, watching him play Persona 5, you know? We were going over to, you know, our best friend's house, we were playing Raving Rabbids for the Wii, of all things. We held, like, Mario Kart tournaments and all this cool stuff, right? But I think the exact point where, like, I really, like, absolutely loved playing with my friends. I still have my Wii and Wii U from this time, but we hooked up the Wii U to the TV. We hooked it up, and we picked out Super Paper Mario for the Wii. If you've never played this game before, it's probably hard to play now, because, you know, it's for the Wii only. They haven't made a remake of it, ever. But if you have played it before, you know what I'm talking about, and if you want to go look it up, go for it. Super Paper Mario is, like, probably one of the games that I went from, like, not enjoying as much to enjoying the most out of any other game, like, that I can think of from the Wii. I think that overall Super Paper Mario is not an enjoyable game on your own, but the second that I started playing it with David and our other best friend, it was immediately like one of the most fun experiences ever. Because it's a single-player game, everyone had one level, so if each world was divided into one level each, so like chapter like 1-1, 1-2, -3, -4, and then chapter 2, right? What we do is we go in an order, like, so someone took 1, someone took 2, someone took 3, the first person from 1 took 4, and it kept, like, cycling through like that. But it made for a really enjoyable experience where we were just sharing that time together of playing the game. We all knew how to play it because we were all following along with the story. We were all, like, very wrapped up in the boss fights. Everyone got a fair chance to actually fight a boss, you know, and really get to enjoy themselves. Both, like, playing the game and watching it. Reading the dialogue was fun. The story was fun. Like, I was not that, like, entertained by the story when I was younger and when I was playing it on my own, to the point where I gave up on playing the game around, like, chapter 2. But then when I was playing it with them, it allowed me to really get to experience the entire game. And one, I thank them for that, because that is honestly, like, one of my better gaming experiences. It's really high up there. But two, it really showed me the effects of, like, playing games with your friends is just way better. It really is. Ooh, I got beast leggings, that can only go on female party members. And they're only one better than the floaty sandals, but beast leggings is the way that we're gonna do this. Yeah, we'll give, oh, yeah, we gave Junpei the floaty sandals. No, we gave him the combat boots. Yeah, gave him the combat boots. Then we gave our protagonist the floaty sandals, and then we gave Junpei the max safety shoes. That way everyone could go up at least one step. Sorry about that. But yeah, like, playing Super Paper Mario was a genuinely fun experience, and whenever we played it, because we were very disjointed in, like, how often we played it, I think, ooh, man, when was that? We played it, like, since before COVID, all the way until, like, probably, like, a month before their first college years began, I'd say. Like, there was a long time period there that lasted, like, 2 to 3 years. But anytime we hopped right back into it, we immediately were just like, this is the greatest thing, like, that we could do right now at this moment, right? It felt really fun, and it was enjoyable, and it was, like, just one of my better gaming experiences, as I've stated before. And it's why I heavily encourage other people to play games with their close friends. Not in that exact same style. Do it in your own way that, like, makes sense. One that's fitting for, like, how you and your friend group wants to do it. Cycle through players on the couch, or if you're playing online, just have a good time. Have people watch and do commentary. Do whatever you want, right? It's y'all's game. It's everyone's game. And you get to make of it what you will. Okay? I'm not here to tell you what to do with it. I'm just here to tell you that you should enjoy it with, you know, people that, like, are gonna make the experience more fun. And also people that are just genuinely fun to be around. That sort of stuff is important to me, and I like talking about it because that's where really, like, it's where I start really, like, understanding, like, the purpose of games just with other people, I guess. Rather than, like, gaming against them, or gaming on your own, or, like, gaming, like, kinda with them, but not really, you know? This was, like, a situation where I was actually playing with them, you know? It felt really nice. If I could go back and experience that exact thing again, I would. It's worth it. I would not give that up for basically anything. Wow. To this day, you know, we're all still in contact, we all still hang out, we have a good time, we do what we need to do, right? We get through our daily lives, we talk, you know, every once in a while, you know, we play games together occasionally, and that's just what we do. Not much more to it. It just feels like whenever you're a kid, you know, the world is kind of, it feels like time is, like, forever, you know? Like, you could just do whatever, because it just lasts forever, you know? Especially with stuff like that, with playing games with friends. It just feels like the world stops, and it's only you guys just playing the game. I just like that sort of thing. It's really fun. Anyway, you've heard my my whole thing, so I could just man, my throat's just closing up here. There we go. But yeah, you've heard my whole thing here, and that's just my opinion, you know? That's my stance on things. I might have talked about this before, and I might not have, but either way, I feel like it's a good thing to come back and revisit, especially for a game that I'm playing alone and doing all the commentary alone for, and it's a game with voice acting, so it's like, it's not one that needs other people around to help voice it out, but instead this is just one that, like, you know, does it for me. I don't know, my preference in games is always ones that you can share with people and just have a good time with, you know? But don't get me wrong, I love this game, I love everything it does, but if I could play this game with my friends, right, like the whole game, right, that'd be a great time. Even though this thing is like 60 hours long, for the main game alone. For the main game alone, 60 hours. Anyway, yeah. I feel like this was a good conversation, like, starter to talk about, is, like, how I actually enjoy, like, video games and gaming with people as a whole. And why I'm, like, kind of involved in that, like, that whole culture, in the first place. Why I have that heavy importance for it. I feel like it's nice to just talk about that, because a lot of people's origins for gaming is, like, you know, it's as simple as, like, my parents got me a console, right? Mine's the same way, because that's how a lot of them start, or a friend introduced me to it, you know? Simple as that, right? But I guess to me, the more important thing is not how you got into gaming, but it's the reason, like, it's the reason why you like gaming, you know? It's why you enjoy it so much. Like, what makes you, like, love it, you know? It's kind of like the Anton Ego Ratatouille type thing. It's just like, I don't just, like food, I love it, you know? It's like that whole thing. I'm pretty sure I misquoted him on that. I don't know. I haven't watched Ratatouille in, like, ooh, man, it's been like 5 years. Should probably watch it again. Yeah. But that sort of thing is just, it's just something I talk about just for the sake of it, to help fill time here, and also give you kind of a look into myself again. And a look of, like, kind of how I did things. How I just, you know, had a good time. Yeah. Recently, we all, like, the trio, you know, me, David, other best friend, we actually played a couple Marvel Rivals matches together, so I mean, that was really fun. Really, I'm not gonna say nostalgic, because, you know, obviously Marvel Rivals is like a game that just came out. But it's nostalgic in a way that it was like the three of us playing the game, you know, like all together. Because we used to actually, you know, because of our own, like, little self-contained trio, we actually had enough time in our lives at one point, at, like, multiple points, actually, not just for, like, the D&D that, you know, we were kids for, but eventually, our best friend, he got the Dungeons & Dragons Spelljammer books. He eventually got those. And he was running a homebrew campaign for David and I. And it was a really enjoyable time where we got to just, like, it was just, like, basically the three of us, you know, all just, you know, sitting, chilling out, having really long sessions, right? But it felt nice to play like that, because it was, like, weirdly, sorry, what's the word? It led back to the past, basically, where, like, we used to play it as a trio, but this, like, at that time, like, my father was the one who was running the game, for us, so it felt like kind of like a cycle coming back around, like, we did a full circle to get to that point. That was really nice. it's just really fun to talk about that stuff. It makes me nostalgic, and it helps me remember a bit more of what happened and like what kind of stuff was going on and what I liked, and just it makes me feel happier, just more intact and more aware. Recently, I guess I hadn't been fully all there, so now I'm back in it. Recording these videos helps with that because it does those things for me. You've heard the thing before. I record the video, I do the commentary helps me figure out stuff about myself, the stuff about myself makes me happier down the line, and I'm more intact for it, I create more videos. It's a cycle, we've talked about this, I don't need to go further in detail on that. Is it kind of weird? A little bit to me. I think it's a bit of a weird coping technique for me, but in a kind of strange way, it's working, so I'm not going to complain too much. I'm really not going to complain too much. It's nice being all put together now. Or mostly put together, I should say. Usually I'm very, not at all. And that's saying something. That's very hard to really pull off or do. Man. Man, I just love this game. I love doing the YouTube and commentary and all this. I just love it. Sorry, just little thing there. Just, I enjoy it. Okay? I enjoy it a lot.
Enemy spotted. Awaiting.
Man, I've been fast talking a lot so much that like I gotta like slow down and like breathe for a minute because I'm trying to fill out the commentary. But when I fill out the commentary, my mind immediately resorts to fast talking because of two reasons. I am kinda nervous at times at being on the mic, and I like doing things in one take. But also, a lot of the YouTubers that were online in the early ages of like YouTube, early 2010s, right? Were fast-talking game reviewers trying to like put as much of their words on the internet as possible. Like just in their like little reviews and stuff. And while that's nice, it's definitely not good for me to do that, as I am someone who rambles a lot, and I end up stumbling over my own words quite a bit. I do have a whole history with really bad, like... I'm really bad at, like, speech sometimes. It's a weird... I'm gonna describe this, and it's gonna sound, like, completely bizarre, in a way. And it's gonna give you, like, a look into, like, kinda what I, like, did, or, like, how I work, in a way. When I was, like, when I was, like, a baby, I'd say, I didn't really speak at all until I was, like, about 3. I did not say a word. And I didn't know this until later on in life when my parents told me, like, yeah, you were kind of just a little pain in the ass for doing that. You never talked, you never made a noise for, like, 3 years. And I was confused, because I thought I did. I really thought I, like, talked and stuff, right? I guess that was my brain playing tricks on me there. The other part of that, I guess, the other little bit that makes it kind of, that explains a bit more, I should say. What makes it odd is that when I was a kid, right, when I was in, like, elementary school, I was really young, because I wasn't talking with my other classmates often, and I think this was, like, around 2nd or 3rd grade, the school actually, like, encouraged and kind of pushed me to take, like, one of their speech therapy classes, which is, like, I don't know exactly how they, like, what it's called, but, like, I always called it speech therapy, because it's not, like, a form of therapy, but it encouraged you to talk more. I don't know how to describe it, because other descriptors for it that I'm thinking of right now don't make sense for it. The one that does make sense to me, at least, is speech therapy, so we're just gonna call it that. So they put me in a speech therapy class, and that would, like, encourage me to talk, or at least to, like, interact with other people more. I'm gonna be honest, I kinda faked it till I made it. I just, like, talked to the people there barely, but I didn't know who those people were until, like, after those classes. And even then, I just didn't really interact with anyone. And I guess this was good enough, so they never sent me back for that sort of stuff. I don't know. It's just something that, like, I could talk about here that gives a kind of an explanation as to, like, why I'm kind of, like... I guess awkward's the right way to say it, when it comes to speaking. That I don't have, like, some of the better pieces of English, I should say. But yeah, I mean, there's that. And I'm gonna be honest, it does mess with me a little bit, I should say. There were, like, you know, you had to go up in front of the class and do, like, book reports and stuff. I would, like, also fake it till I made it, where I'd just ramble, I'd just keep going, right, until eventually it was over. Somehow those were good enough for, like, good grades, I guess? I don't know. I felt like whenever I was talking, I don't remember any of what I said. And what makes it weirder, is that, like, I didn't believe that, like, I even talked, right? Like, I thought I did, but also, like, I was like, did I even talk for the right amount of time? Like, in some cases, I was going over, like, the time limit by, like, a few seconds or whatever, and it didn't feel like anything to me. I was so nervous about being in front of the class that I just didn't know what I said, right? And the idea is that, like, you're not supposed to have, like, a script or anything, that you're supposed to just, like, oh yeah, you know, make eye contact with the other students, or, like, you know, try to pretend that you're looking out upon your audience and whatnot. Yeah, that just, that didn't really work, I guess? It just didn't make it didn't really work for me, I guess. Like, I managed to pass, you know, I managed to do pretty well at those, but it wasn't something that, like, I was consistent about, and it wasn't something that, like, I didn't fully understand it, I should say. I have said those 3 words, I should say, all like that. Said those too many times. Those are being, shelved for now. Those are just getting put away. But yeah, like, that sort of stuff just never hit, I guess. So, like, a lot of my, like, mannerisms and speaking is just stuff I've had to pick up from other people, and stuff I've had to, like, adapt to. It doesn't feel like anything that's, like, you know, normal or natural. It just feels all like I picked it up because, like, oh, this reaction was said to this thing, I'm gonna use something similar to that reaction, you know? That's not how I think when I talk to people, but it's also concerning at times because, like, in the back of my mind, it's like, damn, did I really have that idea? Like, was I supposed to act like this, you know? It makes it very difficult to tell, whether or not, like, I'm even, like, being natural, you know? That's just, like, a concern I have most of the time, I guess. Another... Ooh, what was I gonna say? Yeah. Oh, I know now, I know. So, like, another thing is that, like, naturally, because I wasn't talking much at school, or I wasn't too talkative at home, I should say. Damn it, I said it again. No. No, I can't say it again. What I was going to say is that, like, since I wasn't too talkative at home or, like, at school, really, I'm not gonna say it made it hard to be friends with people, because, you know, I still had a lot of friends. I was able to make friends really well. Mainly because, like, even though I didn't need to have, like, a lot of words, I still, like, had the ability to just be, like, a decent person, like, you know, like, I still had the ability to just be a decent person, and that was, like, good enough, I guess, because I guess you don't, like... That one phrase, talk is cheap, that one. Oh, no, that's not right. That refers to, like, something else. I mean, it does refer to that, but... I just didn't use words as much. And so a lot of the reasons why I made friends were, like, through actions and through getting along with them, because they, like, not only they managed to, like, mesh with me, but I managed to mesh with them, like, pretty well. Like, it worked well. We were, like, actually good friends, good build-up and everything, right? I wouldn't say it was hard to make friends. I would say it was, like, harder to tell people, like, what I wanted to do, or, like, what I needed to do, or, like, what needed to happen. It was difficult to really tell people, like, that there's, like, it was difficult to tell people, like, stuff that involved myself, when it came to my, like, wants and needs. And at times that made me feel, like, a bit, behind, I should say. Because everyone was able to demonstrate, like, oh, you know, like, I want to go to the store, right? You know, they could just say that. That was something that, like, I kind of had a struggle with, because, to me, having, like, a want or a need was like, wait, that seems like kind of too much. Does that seem like a burden to anyone else, you know? And at the time, you know, as a kid, a lot of my needs and wants were very confused, and at times they were a bit selfish. But that was natural for kids, but to me, I didn't know that was natural for kids, so, like, I thought there was something wrong with me. Ah, man. But that's, like, a lot of things I could just talk about there, that really led into, like, kind of the awkward, I'm not gonna say mess, but I'm gonna say more of, like, a jumble. Like a, not really a puzzle, just like a, yeah, no, a jumble is the correct one. Yeah, kind of like a weirdly, like, awkward jumble of a person I am, just a kind of a mixed-up puzzle, I should say. Not an actual puzzle, just a mixed-up one. It's like one of those ones that's like, you know how you can go to the store and you see those ones that are like 100-piece puzzles, and then you see that you could get like 2 of them, or like 3 or 4 of them or whatever, and they're all the same size? And they all somehow happen to have the same, like, cut, because they're made by the same company. So you just end up piecing together, like, the puzzles just for fun. That way, like, oh, you know, here's half of a horse and here's half of a train. Like, these are the pieces I used. It's a dumb, like, description, and it's not at all relatable, because I've never done that either. But it's good, like, imagery-wise, to actually explain, like, I'm a very, like, messy sort of person on a social level. A very, like, disorganized and awkward one, I should say. Damn it, I said it again. I'm gonna have to, like, I need, like, a rubber band or something that I can snap to prevent myself from saying something like that. Because the second I say it, I have to just let go. Wow. I need to do better. I really need to do better. It gives you a bit of perspective on just how I am socially, just when I'm just talking. With the commentaries, it's a lot easier, because I'm not, like, talking with anyone, and it's nothing serious. But with other people, it's also easy, because usually it's casual. But if it's something serious, I kind of just shut down, because I just can't really, I'm not gonna say comprehend, but I can't really, like, figure out a way to get from point A to point B in my words whenever it's something serious. I can't figure out how to, like, go from the start to the finish on a serious conversation, like, in a way that's, like, efficient and quick. It's very disorganized, it's all over the place, but eventually we get to the end. Man, I had a pretty good talk here, actually, about how I am socially, so I feel pretty good about that, actually. Maybe I could use that confidence to better myself in the future. Yeah. I mean, that might happen, you never know. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, good, that actually worked. I remembered, like, yeah, this boss didn't give me, like, trouble, but this boss definitely gave me, this floor boss. That's the word I should be using, this floor boss. This floor boss didn't give me trouble, but it just took a while because of this one guy with no weaknesses and Herculean strike. Ooh. Man, I stumbled badly on Herculean.
It is time.
Because I don't... Okay. Wait, would it be Herculean? Because it's Hercules. No, but there's an... That's an N. There is an A-N, right? Herculean. Oh. Huh. You know, that's gonna have to be a word. Like, I actually have to look up and figure out, like, how exactly that's pronounced. Because that one hasn't come up in conversation or in, like, books that I've read pretty much ever. Yeah, how would you pronounce this? Let's... I feel like I'm right. I feel like I'm right. I don't know. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'll figure it out one day. We'll figure it out after this video and, like, before I record the next one, because, I don't know, I just don't feel like doing that right now. Not right now, anyway. I'm in the middle of this. Luckily, everyone's up to level 33. Let's go! Oh, and Take Minakata got Dodge Strike. Sweet. That's gonna be really awesome, actually. Increase evasion against strike skills. Stills. I should not be saying that word. Yikes. Yeah, but forget Garu for Mipatra. I feel like Windbreak might have its use later. Counter-Strike is really good, for right now anyway. Better than Counter. I mean, literally, it's a 5% increase even though it doesn't stack. It literally is just meant to be a replacement for Counter.
I have learned a new
And we got Diorama. Let's go. No, it is not Diorama, because that is something different. It is Diorama, because Dia is the original health skill. You know, shadows with books on their heads, yeah. Yeah, what's even written inside the book? He makes a good point, actually. I remember this conversation, like, after I recorded this video. I remember this exact, like, thing, and I was like, huh. I wonder what is written in those books. No, it is not photo collections of pretty models. It just looks like tons of words. But no, I seriously wonder what's actually written on the insides of those books. I think that's, like, a good question to ask. And we got a Balm of Life. Awesome. And, okay, cool. We're actually nearing the end of the video right now, and I can move on to the next one for recording. Anyway, I have been Eire with Saturn's Edge, and you've been watching Persona 3 Reload. Episode 51, can you believe it that we made it this far? Anyway, feel free to like and subscribe, to share this video with people. It's been nice recording these videos and getting back into us, and I'll be seeing you all around in the next one. See ya!